How do characters like Ippu Makanuchi, Sung Jin-woo, Itadori Yuji go through trials and tribulations over and over, yet still come out on top, get stronger, and achieve what they want? It's all due to one thing, and that's discipline. Now, discipline is one of those things that every man should have in their back pocket, no problem. And today, I'm gonna show you guys how you can achieve discipline as easy as possible, because anybody can with this technique. And by the way, welcome to Weeb Talk, where I just sit down on my beanbag chair and talk to the camera. Not too many edits, just you and me chilling, getting intimate, watching you, watching me. Anyway, before we talk about how to get disciplined, I think we should define what discipline is. I like Alex Hormozi's definition of discipline, so it's the one I'm gonna go with. And it is the length of time where you do actions that have no immediate reward. So perfect example is working out. You don't get buff from 20 minutes of cardio. You don't lose 10 pounds by not choosing to eat chocolate one day. Or even, you don't even lose 10 pounds being in a deficit for one day. That's stuff that doesn't have immediate reward, but will have great reward in the future. The thing is though, that's why discipline is so difficult. It's because we do something, we don't see a reward for it yet. It's something that's hard to do. And so a lot of people, they end up giving up and they lose discipline. They're not disciplined people. So how do you achieve discipline? Well, it's actually pretty simple and pretty easy. Because if you can do this, then discipline will come naturally. And that's to channel one powerful emotion. And I'm gonna tell you what this emotion is, but let me tell you how I got disciplined first. So, back when I was a teenager in high school, my habits and everything else, my discipline was awful. So I ate poorly, I didn't exercise, I just sat around, watched anime, played video games, just chilling on my DSi when that came out. And I was not that good of a student either. See, it's funny because Asians have good grades and whatnot, but my grades were actually pretty bad. In high school, I was only I barely studied. I was good at the subjects I was naturally good at, which was math, science, but things such as English, social studies, all the nonsense like history, which admittedly looking back was kind of good subjects. I just did not try. So my grades were mediocre. They were average at best. And I spent probably my entire high school life just cruising around doing whatever the hell I wanted because I didn't care. I really didn't care enough. There were no stakes for me. I had a roof over my head. At worst, my mom or dad would be scolding me, you should do your homework, you should stop, you should watch less anime, you should play less video games. And that was it. Then when I got to university, things started to change a bit. That was when I realized because I moved 5 hours away, was in my dorm, and nobody was there to tell me, hey, don't play video games till 1 a.m. Nobody was there to tell me, hey, don't eat this or that junk food. Nobody was gonna tell me to do my homework. Shoot, I felt like freedom, right? Because nobody was there to be like, hey, don't drink, don't do this, don't do that. Because I was on my own. That was exciting for me. I was terrified, but it was exciting for me. Because I thought, oh, I can just live the way I want. As long as I pass, I should be okay. I should just get my degree, no problem. And then something actually clicked. I was taking software engineering at the time. I was sitting in my engineer class, and the professor straight up said, hey guys, just letting you know, the pass rate for this class is 50%. I thought, damn, 50%? That's not good. Wow, must be a hard class. And then I kept spiraling that thought, oh shoot, if it's 50%, what if I'm the 50 that fails? What if I fail this class? What if I fail a lot of my classes? What if university is actually this difficult thing that I have to go through? And then I just thought, shoot, if I fail, I can't get my software degree. I can't get a good high paying job. I can't get a house, can't get this, can't get that. I'm gonna starve, I'm gonna die. It might've been an exaggeration, but from that point on, I was studying after every lecture, making sure I understood everything after that class. I did the homework as soon as I got it, just to get it out of the way. I studied from the morning and afternoon, and then the evening I wouldn't have to worry about it. And it wasn't just the studying either. So not only was I afraid to screw up a class and fail, but I was also afraid that I was gonna be lonely. When I was in high school, you would consider me a loser, like a skinny fat dude who just watches anime and plays video games and doesn't care about being social. Yeah, to me, that's loser behavior. I was a loser. Like, there's no going around that. So I thought, okay, I don't want to be a loser the rest of my life. Because if I'm a loser the rest of my life, I'm never gonna have friends. I'm gonna be lonely. I'm probably gonna live like an average life. I'm gonna be mediocre. I'm going to probably never get a girlfriend, never have kids. And I'm just gonna be going 9 to 5, sitting through rush hour, going to a job I really don't like, coming back and repeating the cycle. That was terrifying to me if I had lived that life. So while I was studying hard and I was working an internship, I managed to go out, have a social life, work on my body, work on self-improvement, dress better, get better haircuts, improve skincare and all that, and actually talk to people. And that was actually, the year I decided to do that was the same year I got a girlfriend. So it's telling, right? And that wouldn't have been possible had it been if I wasn't disciplined. So what do we learn from all that? Okay, well, you can imagine, like, I was afraid to fail my classes. I was afraid to be this below average dude that doesn't have a social life, who doesn't touch grass and just plays video games all day. Imagine it like this. Let's say that I told you to make $1 million in a single year. You probably would, maybe some of you would be like, oh, $1 million in a year. Yeah, I want that. That's motivating enough. That reward is so nice. But some of you would be like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. It's probably too hard, right, to make $1 million in a year. That's difficult. That's fine. But what if instead I said, you need to make $1 million in a year, or I will kill you. I will kill your parents. I will kill your kids, your family. Well, now all of a sudden, you probably heard that and you thought in your mind, oh shoot, how do I make $1 million? You're not thinking, oh, I can't. You're now thinking, how do I do it? Because now you have fear in the equation. You're afraid of losing your loved ones. So you are going to probably stay disciplined to get to $1 million no matter what. You'd probably get rid of everything in your life that isn't about making $1 million and then just do that to save your family. Fear is powerful. Like, you need to channel a fear. You need to channel what you're afraid of becoming if you don't become disciplined. And again, for me, that was fearing failing classes. Being a failure was my fear. I was afraid of becoming a loser, an adult loser, someone who just plays video games all day, has no ambition, doesn't work hard, and just sits on the couch with like nothing but my sorrows and woes. I'm sitting on my sorrows and woes, guys. So what you guys need to do if you want to be disciplined at anything is just whatever you're trying to do, be good and disciplined at, think about the person you become if you didn't do that. Like, if you weren't disciplined, think about that. Like, imagine if you weren't working hard, working on your physique, working on your looks, you'd probably be sitting on your couch, overweight, playing video games, watching anime, and you have Dorito dust on your belly, a Mountain Dew in your hand, and you're just sitting in the dark, illuminated just by like your TV or computer screen. That, like, I'm just thinking, just saying that out loud makes me not want that. I have a visceral reaction to that because I think I would have been there had I not been able to channel fear and and that makes me disciplined. The fear will make you disciplined. You have no choice, but you have to channel a fear that's real, right? It can't be like, oh, I'm afraid of being fat. No, you really have to understand yourself to use this correctly. Like, genuinely, you have to be afraid of the loser. Like, I'm gonna say these words. You have to be afraid of the loser, the fatty, the nerd, calisthenics nerd. You have to be afraid of that. You have to be afraid of becoming that. And if you're not, that's fine. Like, you just accept that you're probably like not going to be as driven as the person who is. Fear is more powerful than reward. And that's what you need to channel in order to be disciplined. Now, some people do manage to get that fear and they have a great disciplined start, but halfway through their journey, They just give up. So if that sounds like you can watch this video right here to see my method of never, ever giving up, ever. Okay? That's Weeb Talk, and I love you. Mwah.